because my job was demanding. It was so demanding. I don't even have time to sit down and and if you don't sit down, like my job, if I don't do it in the morning, I don't think I'll have time to do it while I work, because my work is something that I'm like in the forefront. I'm always seeing a client, a customer in the meeting, management meeting. I'm meeting the staff. Somebody is always in my office for one problem or the other. A customer is calling from one approval. Different things that are taking my time. So while in the office, there's no how I'm going to sit down and say I want to do spiritual thing. No. And by the time I'm coming back in the night, it was already dark. I was already worn out. I was tired. I would be so tired that if all I wanted to do just to eat and just, in fact, even to eat sometimes is difficult. I just want to go and sleep. Just want to sleep and get prepared for the next day. And that was how my life was running. So my spiritual life was missing. It wasn't something I was taking care of. And sincerely, that is not the way it's supposed to be. So to have a purposeful and balanced life, your spiritual life is very important. Then you have to take care of your health. Number two, your health and wellness. You need to keep your sanity. You need to keep your sanity to have, to even have that courage to be able to do your work well. Because, I found out that I was, because I was here and there, sometimes I got too tired. I was not focusing. I forget things. I mean, maybe things in the office I will not forget, but things at home, my children tell mommy, I want something. Can you help me to buy something? I don't even remember. I won't remember because the things in the office are already occupied on my mind, because I was not balancing. So your health and wellness is very important because you have to keep your sanity, which is important. Without sanity, there's no how you're going to give it all. There's no how you're going to, give it your best. Of course, you are going to be working. You'll be doing the things, but sincerely, look into it. It's going to be very shallow. You need to take care of your health. Then family and relationship. Like I mentioned, things that I'm supposed to do for the family, I forget. I will forget it because one particular aspect of my life has occupied every space in me. So, as a balance, as someone that has a balanced life, you have to take care of your family and your relationship with people. Your relationship, because you see, you cannot take away people from your life. You will say, I don't have time. Somebody's naming ceremony, I cannot go. I'm too busy. On Saturday, sometimes I have to go to work. On Sunday, that's the only time I have to rest. You remember that, you are you are going to have a situation where you will need people, in your life. So who are the people that are going to come to your life? When they needed you, you are not there. You are not there for them. They are not seeing you. To them is pride. They don't understand that you are very busy. To them, she's too proud to come. No, if you call her, don't bother to invite her. She will not even make it. You keep giving excuses every time you are saying sorry. No, you have to have time. You have to balance it. Have time for your family and have time for your relationship. Then your career, your ministry, and the business. The three, they are together. It's either you are in career, or maybe you have a ministry, or you are in business. Whatever it is, you still need to have time for this aspect of your life. My time, my story, I had time for my career. And my career was like taking like almost 90% of my life. Almost 90%. The remaining 10% I try to share, maybe to some other aspects of my life. Let's say spiritual. Of course, I read my Bible maybe Saturday or Sundays and everything, but it was never enough. It can never be enough. It can never be enough. Then your finances. Your finances is important too. Do you have time for your finance? Are you taking care of it? You take all the time on your career. Maybe you are doing everything on your spiritual life and your finance is suffering. That's not a balanced life. That's what God wants. That's not how God wants us to be equipped. That's not practical tools to create a God-aligned, balanced life for ourselves. So your finances is actually very important also. And your personal growth. Your personal growth. Are you growing? Personal growth. In what aspect are you growing in your life? Are you really growing? Can you see yourself that you are growing? Can you see yourself that you are growing? You can't see it because you are not growing. You can't see it because you are lacking, because things are lacking. You are lacking in whatever you are doing. You are lacking in the things that you are, in fulfilling your duties, whether as a wife, as a husband, whether as a career person or a business person, as a mother, you are lacking. Then we are talking about rest and recreation. You still need time for yourself. You need to go out. You need to go out. You need to see people. You need to, to just, you need here. You need some here to yourself. You need some here. You need some here to yourself. So these aspects are very important in our life, and we cannot, just put them aside. So those are the 7 domains of a balanced life. Why do people struggle with goal setting? Because you see, the truth is just that, how can you have a balanced life when you don't set a goal? You can only have a balanced life. You have to set a goal, for that balanced life. Why do people struggle, with setting goals? Because most people don't lack ambition. They just lack structure. It's just the structure. The structure, put the structure, in place. And these are there's reasons for that, because goals are vague. You struggle when you don't make proper goals, when you just make the goals like, this year I want to achieve something, this year I want to become certified. You are saying you want to become certified this year, but when this year 2026 I want to become a chartered accountant, when in 2026? You cannot just say you want to become chartered accountant in 2026 without putting time into it, without putting period. And this takes me to the what we call smarter goals framework. Smarter goals framework. I'm sure you must have heard the word smarter. Is an acronym. Smarter, S for specific. You have to be specific about your goal. What do you want to achieve? That's a mother, as a career person, as a business person, as somebody that has a ministry. What do you want to achieve? You must be specific about it. You must be specific about what you want to achieve in life. What do I want to achieve? What do you really want to achieve? Are you specific about your goal? Don't say, I want to grow spiritually. No. You have to say, I will pray and read my Bible for 20 minutes daily. Then you have put a time to it. When you put a time to it, then you are looking at the time, because if you don't achieve that 20 minutes, then you know that something is missing. Even Jesus was in Luke 22, 10 to 12. Jesus gave highly specific instruction for the Passover room. You have to be specific. This is set the table, put the tray, put this specific. I want to be on the treadmill for 10 minutes. Be specific. I want to get my certification in 5 months. Be specific. Once you are specific, it makes you to run with that timing. And then it takes me to measurable, which is the hem. Hem is specific in the Sparta framework. You measurable. If it cannot be measured, it cannot be improved. If you cannot measure it, then you can't improve it. Like I said, put a time to it. I will walk 30 minutes a day. I will walk 30 minutes a day. It's a time to it. So you can measure the 30 minutes. You can check your time and say, okay, I am doing the walking. How many minutes have I walked today? You have only walked for 15 minutes. You have said 30 minutes. That means you have 15 minutes more to get to that, to your achievements. So you will be able to improve on it and say, okay, let's say I'm tired. Okay, I'm tired, but I was able to achieve 15 minutes this morning. Fine. Then you know that you have 15 minutes to more to achieve the goal. So, but if you don't have time to put on it, if you don't measure it, then you cannot improve on it. Then achievable, which is the A in the smarter. Achievable is you set goals that match your season. God will not overwhelm you. His burden is light. That's what he said. So my burden is light. God's burden is very light. Matthew 11:30. So God will not overwhelm anybody. So make a goal that you can achieve. Don't say that I'm going to be on the treadmill for 1 hour. Of course, you know that 1 hour is not achievable, because you don't have that strength or the ability to spend 1 hour on the treadmill. Don't put that much of a goal and say, 1 hour, I'm going to spend 1 hour. No, if it's you're going to start like, okay, I'm going to be on the treadmill, let me start from 10 minutes. If you achieve the 10 minutes, you can increase it to 15, to 20, and in everything that we do in life, in everything you do in life, make a goal that is achievable, something that you know that it's achieved, you can achieve, and once you achieve it, you can increase it, you can put another time to it and say, okay, I have achieved this. Let me see. I'm going to read my Bible. I'm going to read 3 chapters a day. And you started reading 3 chapters for like a week. That means you've done well. And say, okay, let me see. Can I do 4 chapters? Then you increase it to 4 chapters. That is something that is achievable. But don't say I'm going to read 20 chapters a day. And at the end of the day, you're not even reading 2 chapters. That's not it. That shouldn't be it. Then we are talking about relevance. Your goals must have given purpose. You understand? Everything you are doing, it has to align to your God-given purpose. What is your purpose in life? What has God, put in your mind to do? What do you want to achieve? What do you want to do? What do you want? Your goal must be relevant to that purpose, that thing you want to do. Do you want to be a chartered accountant? Then is your goal aligning to being a chartered accountant? Do you want to be a pastor? Is your goal aligning to be a pastor? Do you want to be a builder? Whatever you want to be, whatever you want to be, your goal has to be relevant, towards the your discipline. Any discipline that you chose to be, your goal must be relevant toward that discipline. So your goal must be aligned with your God-given purpose. Every one of us, we have a purpose. In case you don't know your purpose, then you need to go back and ask God for your purpose, or sit down and see where you have, what is your passion? What passion? What do you enjoy doing, easily, without getting overwhelmed, without getting burdened. Once you are able to get that, then from there, with prayer, you'll be able to see, okay, I'm doing this thing and it's easy for me. Then let me see how it is. Then you assign your goals, towards it. Make it relevant towards that assignment, toward that discipline. Then with that, it will help you to make your goal to be relevant to what you can do. Then the T there is time bound. God is a God of timing. God works with time. God works with timing. Even Habakkuk 2:3 says that the vision is for an appointed time. If not, God would have said the vision is forever. The vision is not forever, it's for an appointed time. There's always a time. There is a time for everything, a time to sow, a time to reap, a time to weep, a time to laugh. There's always a time for everything. So it is for an appointed time. The vision is time bound. If you decide to get chartered in, let's say I want to get my certification in 3 months, put a time to it and said in 3 months and work with that time. Don't leave it endlessly and said I want to get chartered in 2026. That is not time. 2026 is from when in 2026? When? Is it in March? Is it in February? Because if you leave it like that, that's mundane. You are not putting the time to it. And at the end of the day, you find out that you are not achieving anything. My practical story. This year, when I came to this country, when I came to the US, I was like, back in Nigeria, the way we do things, was different. And when I got myself here, I was like, the way we do things in Nigeria, I need to do some things. I need to get, some certification and everything. And so I was like, how do I want to start this? So I, plan it, and I just put it like a plan to myself. I said, okay, I want to get certified by May this year. I put a time to May this year. And I didn't just put a time to it, I paid for the exam. So if you are planning that you want to do anything, maybe certification, whatever, and you have put a time and you have not paid, then you will soon start shifting the time. Get committed to it. Put a commitment. Once you are committed, because I don't want to waste money. I pay so much money for that exam, and I don't want to waste the money. So I don't have a choice but to, get prepared. So I get myself prepared. I was reading, preparing towards it. Because I know that it's time bound. It's either I pass or I pass. It's either I pass, because I didn't want to even think about failure at all. I don't have that much money to waste. So I was praying, I was reading, I was believing God, and God did it. And I know that same God can do it for someone. So if you're on this platform and you are still thinking about okay, I'm going to do it in April next year. You understand? And maybe you're supposed to have paid for the exam, maybe in the December or January or February, and you are still saying, I will pay when it is April or something. No, go ahead and take a bold step. Once you get committed to it, I assured you, you will get more prepared. You will get more prepared because you know that you have committed the resources into that plan, and there's no how. You don't want to waste your resources, so definitely you are going to achieve it. And I pray that God will help us in Jesus' name. So time bound is very important. And then the E there is evaluated. You must check your progress. Check your progress. Check your progress weekly or monthly. How are you doing? How am I preparing for that exam? Am I ready? Am I ready for the exam? Am I ready? Yeah, maybe you can, solve some questions, ask some questions. You can, practice some questions and see what you have scored. Evaluate it, check it. Are you making progress? Whatever that thing that you want to do, it might not be certification. It could be maybe you want to take up something. It could be ministry. It could be business. Are you making progress? Are you making progress? You understand? Are you making progress? And evaluation should be timing. Evaluation is even time bound also. Don't say I'm going to evaluate. I will evaluate it, and you are going to leave it. I'm going to get this thing evaluated every week. How far have I gone? In a week. How far have I gone? In a month. How far have I gone in this thing? Put a time to your evaluation. You understand? And it will help you. So then after that, you revise, your goals. You revise it. Revision is, what am I doing right? What am I doing wrong? What do I need to change? What do I need to change? What do I need to put in more? Do I need to put in more effort? Do I need to get more materials for this course? Do I need to buy more materials? Do I need to go for a lesson? Or do I need to, to go on YouTube to get more materials? Whatever aspect of it that you find yourself, you understand, revise it and see what you can do to improve it. Sometimes God shifts our direction too. So you need to be flexible. We need to be flexible. When you are revising, be flexible in your revision. Don't say, this thing, it has to be a straight jacket. You have to be flexible. Don't get too overwhelmed. Don't be too hard on yourself. So that you won't get overwhelmed. If you are too hard on yourself, just take a step back and see, what can I do? Do I need to sleep more? Do I need to to give it more time? Whatever you are doing that is going to give you time, you understand, to improve. We need to to get it done. You understand? Because the vision is for a particular time. You understand? And whatever you are doing, you need to sit down and count the cost. If you want to build a house, you cannot just say, I want to build this property, and said, okay, I want to build this property. So you just call a builder and say, please, architect, come, engineer, come, we start building. Bible says that before you start building, what do? We count our costs. You count the cost before you start building. You want to count the cost and say, okay, this building I want to do, how much am I going to spend? If it's going to cost you 10 million, you still have 1 million. You cannot go and tell them to go and start building 1 million naira. How do you want to do it? You want to stop, you are going to stop halfway. If you want to build a 3-story building, you still have money for a bungalow. You understand? You have to go back and plan. You have to go back and plan. If you go back and do your planning well and say, okay, how do I want to do the planning? You plan it, and make sure that your plan is aligning to your goal. And upon everything, or commit your plans to the Lord, because it's only God that can direct our steps and help us in our plan. So I'm going to go to practical goals that we can, like I've mentioned before. I've mentioned spiritual, and that spiritual is, I will join Wednesday Bible study for the next 3 months. We can put a time to it and say, okay, this is what I'm going to do with my spiritual life. This is how I want to achieve spiritually. Every week I must know one Bible passage. Every 2 days, whatever you know what works for you. Health wise, I will drink 6 or to 8 cup of water daily in case you are not been drinking water like me. You understand? I recently I just put some water under where I'm sitting and say, okay, I'm going to be drinking this water because I'm not somebody that drink water, which I know that it's not really good. I'm not someone that likes drinking water. Because I have to put some apple cider in my vinegar in my waters for me to just to encourage me to drink water. But drinking water is very good for our health. So you need to I need to set a goal. I said, look, because I want to live, I want to live long. But you need to drink water. So I put some water under my where I sit down. I say, okay, for the day I have to finish this water. So if it's something that's going to cost you to do that, you can do it as long as you achieve that purpose. Then uninterrupted quality time with your spouse, your family, maybe twice a week. It depends on you. Then finances, just I will save a particular amount of money, every time. Just make a goal. Your finance goal is important. How much do you want to be contributing every time? You have to everything, make it like an all-rounder. Don't just concentrate on one particular goal and leave another one to suffer. My finance, I have to contribute maybe $300 every two weeks, $100 every two weeks, or 100 naira, whatever you want to do. Make it consistent. Put an amount to it. Don't say I'm going to be saving every week. No, put an amount. I'm going to be saving 300 naira every week, and be consistent. Be consistent with it. And I know that nowadays you can give like a direct instruction to your bank and say like every week just take 300 naira from my account. I know they do it too in Nigeria. Just put a direct instruction, 300 naira in my account, and stick to it. Stick to that your that finance plan. You know, Take to it. And as the career one, I will complete certification a particular time, put a time to it. In this year, in this month, in this month, I want to do my certification. In this month, I want to become a pastor. In this month, I want to, register my business. Whatever that you want to do, whatever your passion is, please, put a time to it. And personal growth is so important. I will read one book every month or every two weeks or whatever. We need to grow personally. Whatever, what are the things that makes you think you can do that will make you grow? Those things are important. You have to put them into place, which is very important. So going through, all these things that I've mentioned. So I want us to go on the chat room. Which area do you think you are lacking? Which area do you think you are lacking? What area do you think you can do better? Because I know that some of us might be lacking in one or two areas. Can we just just to take a break? Can we mention which area do you think you can improve? Which area do you think, which can you rate yourself? What was your lowest, your lowest point? What's your lowest point? You know, in that area, you rate yourself. What do you think? Are you achieving more, or you think you can improve? I just want us to. Are you achieving more in which area? Can we? In which area do you think that you can improve yourself? So I'm trying to see on the chat room which area do you think you can get improved, that I can do better. I can, or I've not been doing well and I want to improve more on it. Can we just, have one or two comments on the chat room? So while we are waiting for that, I'm going to how to build system how to build system. Because with all these things that I mentioned, you still need to build the system. You need to build, system. You don't rise to the level of your goal. You rise to the level of your systems. System makes godly discipline easy. When you have a system, you have it, like I've mentioned, you have a system, in place. It makes discipline very easy. And I know people talked about motivation. When you are motivated to do this thing, by go, somebody motivates me. You see, it's good. Motivation is very good. I'm not saying motivation is not good. It's very good to be motivated. But sincerely, what about the time that you're not motivated? What happened? So what happens to your goal? Because there are times that the motivation is not there. You can wake up in the morning and you don't feel motivated. A motivational speaker can speak to you before you sleep, and you're like, I'm on top of the world. I've heard that man, the way she spoke. In fact, I'm just going to go and register for that exam tomorrow. That man, the way he spoke, I'm going to register for that. And tomorrow, by the time you wake up, you are really down. Maybe somebody called you with one news, or maybe you wake up and you find out something happened. So what happened to that motivation? The motivation is gone. It's gone because, you know, um, you were motivated yesterday night. We wake up this morning and something else happened. And so you need another motivational speaker to come on board again to come and motivate you. And that's not the way we should live our life. Our life is good to be motivated, but we need to be disciplined. We need to create system that works. Know what you are doing. You create system that works for you. Have a schedule. Create a system. Have a prayer schedule. You understand? This is the time I want to be praying. That is a system. I want to be praying like every 1 hour. I want to be praying every 30 minutes. You understand? A realistic goal. Make a realistic, prayer goal for yourself so that it now become a system. An example of a system is okay, budget automation, like I mentioned, is a system. I want to say, okay, every week or every two weeks, I want to be saving $200 or 200 naira, whatever, denomination, depending on where you are. I want to be saving. That means you have created a system for yourself, which is very important that we do. For us to have, to balance our goal, we need to create a system for ourselves, and we need to balance. That's the balance. We get balance when we have a balance system. So your monthly financial review. Are you reviewing your monthly? Are you doing well? Are you doing well? Financially, are you doing well? So you review that. You understand? You review, your monthly financial review. Once you are doing that, what that reviewing is a system that you have created for yourself. It's in project management. We call there's something we call there's a software we call pieces. I don't know if you have heard about Primavera pieces before. In that software, you have a system created. You understand, for people that are doing maybe scheduling. I don't know if it's something that is common in Nigeria. There is a discipline here we call scheduling. You can be a project manager. Project management is divided into different aspects. You can be like a cost manager. You can be a planner. You can be a scheduler. Even as a scheduler, you understand, we have a system whereby you need to review whatever you schedule. If you want somebody to go, and maybe you are scheduling a 3-story building, and you've done your schedule, for the week, and said, okay, this person, what they are going to do is they are going to build foundation to this aspect. Then these people, they are going to do some blocks down, and they are going to bring cement. You do your scheduling. You still need to review it. How are these things, are they the actual versus the project, the project that you have made? You made a projection. You understand that this is what you want to achieve. Is the actual equal to the projection that you have made? So you need to be able to balance the actual and the projection you made. If it's not balancing, then you know where it is that you can correct. So you need to put your system together. And once you put the system together, it's going to really help you, to be able to go back and say, okay, I think something is wrong here. So I need to, correct this. This system is not working, then I need to change this. I think my prayer line is interwoven with something else that I do every day. So I need to move this side. So we need to pray system for ourselves. Jesus had system too, because he withdrew often to pray. Luke 5:16 says Jesus often withdrew to lonely places and prayed. So if Jesus used system, we must too. We must use system, because Christ, our role model, used system. So how often do you do your alone with God? That's important. It's a system that you create for yourself. You want to do alone with God. How often do you do it? How often do you want to do it? Do you want to do alone with God once in a month? So all these things is something that we need to create. And once we create it, we build it, we build it into the system, for ourselves. Then we have to maintain and balance those systems without getting burnt out. You maintain and balance the system without getting burnt out. And what do I mean by without getting burnt out? Okay, do you have a system in place? Like I told you when I was saying my story, when I was, working, in the bank, that I will leave the home in the morning. I'll go from morning, come till night. I was always getting burnout because I was not maintaining balance. Please, can we build? I was not maintaining balance. I was getting burnout. So how can you maintain balance without getting burnout? How can you maintain balance without getting burnout? These are the things that you need to put into consideration, when you are making up your goal for the year or making up your goal for a period. How do you want to maintain balance without getting burnout? So all these things has to come to place. It has to come to place. What are the things? How do you want to maintain balance in your career, in your finances? You understand? Without getting burnout. What are the productive actions that you need to do? What are the productive actions you need to do? What are the nourishing actions that you need to take into consideration? What are the resting activities, you understand, that you need to put into consideration? And this thing must align with your goal and your objective. It has to align. And remember that whatever you are doing, you need your rest. You need your rest. Rest is godly. Rest is godly, not laziness. Some people say when you are resting, you are lazy. No, rest is not laziness. Rest is godly. Even God rested. After creation, God rested. So you cannot be El Shaddai. If you want to be El Shaddai, then just like our pastor normally said, that is El Shaddai. You cannot be everywhere every time. You cannot be, you cannot be doing things 24/7 and not rest. Your rest is very important because by the time you rest, you get back, nutrients. Your brain is settled. You have sanity back. Then you can prepare for the next day, to get ahead of the next day. But if you're not giving yourself enough rest, then what does it mean? It means that the next day your CBC, your input is going to be affected. There's nothing you can do about that. You cannot give out your best if you're not doing that rest. You cannot give out your best. Definitely, your best is going to suffer. Your best is going to suffer. And sincerely speaking, I don't think any one of us wants to do that. We don't want to do that. So we need to rest and take it very important. Like, how do I want to do my rest? Is it, okay, once I'm done for the day? I know some people that on Saturdays, there's nothing you can tell them. Once it is 7 o'clock on Saturdays, or 7 o'clock, there are no call. Nothing comes into their call. Nothing. They will not accept any call. Nothing. 7 o'clock is when they start, maybe once they finish their quiet time, their family time and everything, they just sit down. They don't have, if they are not going to sleep, they sit down and get the assignment. Maybe watch something like something that will personally grow them. It could be maybe something on Netflix or whatever, something that they find interest in doing. They get it done. So we need to balance our goals, which is very important. We need to balance our goals. As we round up, remember that balance is not perfection. It's not. Balance is alignment. Balance is intentional. You have to be intentional about it. Balance is spirit-led. It's spirit-led. The Bible says, seek first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things will be added unto you. When God is first, everything else find its proper place. Balance, you have to be intentional about it. Everything I said today, if you are not intentional, there's no way you're going to achieve it. You must be intentional. You must be intentional that you want to improve yourself. You must be intentional that you want to get certified. Maybe in one aspect of it. You want to be intentional if you want to grow your business. It has to be something intentional. You must be intentional to say, see, I have to create time for my family. It's not being balanced. Not that you are perfect. You are not perfect. We are not perfect. But it's not that we are aligning it to your goal. Aligning to your goal. That's what intentional means. You have to make sure that you align it to your goal. Align it to whatever you are doing. Align it to your goal, your discipline. What do you want to do? Align it to your goal. Very, very important. And that we have to consider it every time we are thinking about our goal. People don't fail because they lack discipline. They fail because they lack clarity. So you need to be clear about your goal. Very important. You are not going to fail because you lack discipline. You are going to fail because you lack clarity. Are you clear about your goal? Are you clear about what you want to achieve in life? Are you clear about your goal setting? You understand? What are you clear about being a smarter person? Because you need to be smart in every decision of your life. And this matter, it doesn't have to be like, it's not only spiritual, it's not only to ourselves, even to our work, to our individual work. We use smart even in project management. It's something that we do too. We use smart, to get into, to build our projects. So I want you to remember that balance is not perfection, it is alignment. And I pray that as we go ahead and put all these things into practice, work towards achieving our goal setting, and be intentional about it, God will surely help us in Jesus' name. So I don't know if there is any question from anyone. So if there is no question, if there is any question, please, I want to give time for question and answer before I go ahead. Any question? Any question? If there is none, can I just move ahead?
I have a question. So I raised
All
my
right.
hand.
Oh, sorry.
Yes, ma.
All
Thank
right.
you so much. Good evening, ma.
Good evening, sir.
Yes, ma. Thank you so much for this. It's needed at this time. My question is, if someone who works like the way you explain your job in the bank and you don't have what to fall back on if you leave, for instance, if you are the major contributor to the family and that type of scenario where you have to leave early and come in very late is what is your reality, and
Yes, sir.
you are concerned that if you leave there's no much to fall back on, or there's little or nothing to fall back on, what do you do in that instance?
Okay. Number one, you see, when I left the bank, I realized that I made a lot of mistakes, And sincerely speaking, while I was going to banks to do transactions, I was few people that got close to me. I was advising them on the mistake I made. Sincerely, when I was in the bank, I could have done better in terms of better for myself. Of course, it's busy, but you know that you can have your business while you are working in the bank. You can still have your own business there. You understand? Something to fall back on, which was, I told you, like, God fixed me. I found grace. But maybe some people were not lucky. Maybe they were not fortunate. You understand? Because I knew people that were, that left the bank and their life never remained the same in terms of negative. You understand? But I thank God for how God really helped me. What am I trying to say is that while you are there, you see, let me tell you, the bank, you are in the bank, you meet a lot of people. I realize that while you are in the bank, you meet a lot of people. You see, as you are in that bank, you are very, very important. It is not you that is important, so it is your seat. It is that chair that is important. If you think you are important, you are not. Until when I found myself in that was when I realized that those customers that come and say, Oga, you are too much. Oga, without you, this bank will be, you are not. It is the chair they are talking to. They are just facing you. They are just looking at you talking. It is that chair that is important. Because the moment you leave and somebody else come, that person will become relevant and you are no more relevant. So while you are there, you are missing people, right? Some people come to you They come and get approval. They are building. They want to buy cement. If you are selling cement, somebody wants to buy cement. Of course, and somebody want to sell, somebody wants to buy, somebody wants to sell. You can buy, you can even do a virtual whatever. You buy, you sell, you put the two, you put your profit and you make your money and you're doing your business. You are not leaving the bank. Somebody is there for you doing the business. What you are doing, you're just see so many things, that were, that you are not leaving. I'm not saying leave your job. You don't need to leave, because if you leave, you cannot use the time of the bank to go and be doing your job. That is cheating. I'm not saying do that. But while you are there, businesses comes to meet you in the bank there. Your customer comes, he wants to buy one truck, one lorry, one truck of cement. And one truck of cement. You are there in the middle. You can be the middleman. You will buy, you will sell, you make profits, and you are good. So you can establish your own business, make somebody there, let the person go and do the out there, get somebody to monitor the business while you are there. So many other things that we can do. So that when you leave the bank, there's something to fall back to. And again, when you are there in the back, please, the mistake we made is that sometimes we feel that we are too important. And so people delay us with things that are frivolous. Things that are frivolous things that that you can put up to. You can do it next day. You can get it done next time. You can send a marketer. You can send somebody to get it done. You can delegate. Most of us want to do this thing by ourselves. We carry too many things on our head, and at the end of the day, we are burnt out. We are the one getting burnt out. We are the one that is on top that get burnt out. Our people that are working under us, they are enjoying. They are doing those things that we're not doing. So what am I saying, my brother? I'm saying that you can still find something to fall back on. So while you are there, while you are doing that job, you understand, know at the back of your mind that every respect those colleagues are giving you, it is not you, it is that seat you are sitting on. I don't know if I've answered your question, sir.
Yes, ma. Thank you so much, ma. Thank
Do
you,
we
ma.
have more other any other question, please? Any other person that want to ask question?
Question.
Can I quickly ask a question, please?
All right, go ahead.
All right. How do you balance educational and educational?
Can we mute? Somebody is talking at the background. Can we mute our phone?
How do you balance your educational life and your personal life, like what you do versus what you study? How do you find that balance?
Okay.
And also create time for you to, obviously worship the Lord. So where is that common ground that we need to look for?
What you do and what you study. Okay,
yeah.
So the truth is that what are you doing? If I'm a banker, I'm working as a bank. What are the things that I need to do to enhance what I'm doing as a banker? And sincerely speaking, every one of us on this platform, I don't want us to look at ourselves as a local champion, as what it is, because you see, these are the mistakes. I don't know if people are still making that mistake. These are the mistakes that I made when I was in Nigeria. But thank God, I told you that Grace even found me here in US. I'm not joking. Grace found me. I'm serious, because I just thank God the way the journey has been. But maybe some people don't get lucky. Maybe they are not fortunate. What am I trying to say is that if you are working in the bank, you understand, what are the things? Don't limit yourself to that banking environment alone. What are the things that you need to do to enhance yourself? As a banker, you understand, we have HR, we have other department, clearing, we have other department there. What are the things? Which aspect of your banking do you think you can improve yourself on, that you can get certified? You understand? Even if they are not doing it there, we can go online and get that. Because if you can find yourself anywhere, anytime, you can find yourself here. If you get here, there's some things. Maybe it could be maybe approval control, whatever, different controls that there, that we are not even taking cognizance into when we're back in Nigeria. We're not taking, but they are important. There are things that people look with levity. They don't even put things that you can do that can help you to earn a lot of money, that you can do to improve yourself. So while you are there, whatever you are doing, check the area. If you somebody, maybe you are somebody that is into projects, you are doing projects already, you are in business of project, why can't you just improve yourself and get certified as a project manager? Register PMI, pay the money, go and write exams, get certification on PMP. And that certification is worldwide. Whenever you find yourself, you are going to use it to work. If you're not going to do PMP, you can get certification on PMP, and under PMP, there's so many things that you can do. Like I mentioned, you can be a planner, you can be a controller, you can be a scheduler, you can be a cost evaluation person. You can so many things that you can do. Find your roots. Just find it. What are the things? I have a friend here. When she was in Nigeria, her husband was the only one working in the bank. She was doing what is it called? Poultry. Fish farming. She was doing fish farming. She did toilet rolls business, supplying her husband bank. When she saw that the business was not even moving again, and she was like, she stopped it. She was doing farming. When the farming was not even, she just stopped. But fortunately, she found herself here in the US. When she got here, she just gambled on project management and everything. And so she went online, studied project management and everything. And somebody just mentioned to her, I said, read this project management, why can't you just go and do Primavera P6? P6, Primavera P6. And that was how she went to go and learn P6. And I'm telling you, right now, she's a scheduler. She's a scheduler, any 6 figure. So be just a scheduler. People want to be a scheduler, to be a project manager. Nobody wants to be a project manager. Project manager, what's the difference in the salary? It's just a small amount of money. Scheduler, you can be doing a remote and scheduling when you are in your house. So there's you can find your feet, my brother. Whatever you find yourself doing, even as a banker, what are the things that you can get certified on? So that when you find yourself anywhere, somewhere else, while you are there in the bank, you understand? Go to your HR and tell them that, look, you have certification in this. They will find an alignment for you in the bank, where they can put you and you can showcase your, what you have learned and what makes you better than your other colleagues. I hope I'll be able to answer your question. And while you are preparing for that, you can be asking me, why do you want to prepare for the exam? See, 24/7, we have 24 hours in a day. And sincerely speaking, sometimes we just like I mentioned, we deceive ourselves and say, 24 hours is not enough. If it's not enough, then God will have made it 36 hours. It's always enough. You understand? There's always a time a time for your break, a time to read. I'm a very busy person here, but still, I still find time to make sure that I got certification. I still find out my time. If I was reading in the night, I was doing it. I was reading in the night. I was just, getting a balance. But at the end of the day, God did it. It's not me. God did it. So you can do it. It's not difficult. You can achieve it. Just put your mind to it. Make it as a goal. Put a time to it. Let it be a time bound. And go ahead and pay for it, because it's not good when you make it vague. Don't make it vague. Be intentional.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much,
Appreciate that.
Mr. Folashade Jacob. Thank you for this insightful